Right, we have Canadian Pacific Railway postal stationery cards. They were produced principally for shareholders, for stock information, but they were produced from the end of the 19th century, 1898, to about 1932, and they were all produced with a beautiful vignette. So this one frame is a study of the 25 different vignettes, which actually fits one frame quite well. There were obviously a lot more postal stationery cards than that produced during the period. But there we are, there's the front page again. You can see the introduction at the top, little plan of the exhibit to the left hand side, and the main references to the right, and a couple of nice Queen Victoria items. The first vignettes were the green ones, and as we move on you'll see that there aren't too many of the green ones. These were just produced in Victoria's reign. Really rather pretty things. They're often of hotels. There's one of the Hot Springs Hotel in Banff there at the bottom, which is rather nice. Then the last of the green ones, the green printings here at the top, and of course on these you often get the really rather nice Canadian flag cancels at the end of the 19th century. At the bottom of this page you can see the first of the multicoloured. Now the multicoloured vignettes were produced during three reigns: Queen Victoria's reign, then on to Edward VII's reign, and into George V's reign. So moving on, we've got more of the multicolours on the top line there, and we're up to the Quebec province here, some of the Chateau Frontenac. Moving on to the second row, more multicoloured, Edward VII and George V at the bottom. Moving across the continent now, Mount Stephen, which was very often used. This one, I'll just go out a little bit. There you go, you've got the whole of the page there. And more multicolours here. There's a multicoloured Victorian one there. We're over right now on the other coast. We're at Vancouver, and in the Rocky Mountains. Multicoloured ones through to the end of the second row, and the third row we're still with multicolours. Now you'll see that most of these are mounted on a grey backing, but occasionally there is one with a red backing. The red backings are the scarcer ones, and right at the end of the multicoloured issue we have three really rather scarce ones. These are the dining room and the lunch room at the hotel in Quebec, and these were produced in fairly small numbers. We then go on to the last of the printings, which are slightly less attractive. These are the Sepia printings, and these are exclusively George V. So these come a little bit later on, and we're now onto the third row. We're onto page 11, this one. Got a scarce one at the top, but going across the mountains, and these were all new types. We've got the Empress Hotel there in Victoria, British Columbia, and coming down to the bottom row we're still with the sepias. We're getting up to 4 3/4 minutes, so I've got to hurry up a little bit if I'm going to get within my 5-minute deadline. And along the bottom row you'll see that the rate has changed from 1 cent to 2 cents for these cards in the 1920s, and we're up to again the Rocky Mountains. So we've gone across the continent yet again with the sepia issues, and then right at the end, the very last issues, which tells the end of the story. One frame, really rather pretty things. If I come back a little bit so that you can get an idea of the whole look of the thing. It's a very attractive Postal Stationery issue, this, and of course there were very large numbers of these cards produced, but just 25 different vignettes, which means that it fits one frame quite nicely. I might put these in as a national one frame one day. So, oh gosh, we're up to 6 minutes. So signing off for now, there is number 3.